Welcome back everyone. So we have studied our first 6 paragraphs of our unit 8 in our previous video. So now we will be talking about our paragraph 7. So open your books at page number 101. We left at the last line of paragraph 6. So we will begin with 7th paragraph now. Here we have, thereafter Santosh went on an expedition every year. So now after enrolling herself at Uttarkashi and attending that course, from that time she made it a routine that every year she will go on an expedition, which is a journey in which a group of people go. For some, they have a destination that they have to reach that point. So people get together and they go on that journey together. Her climbing skills matured rapidly, means she was learning it really well, really quickly. Also, she developed a remarkable resistance to cold and the altitude. Now, as resistance means, in physics you must have read of resistance. Similarly, if we say resistance to cold, means she don't catch cold that early now. Now at altitude, when altitude changes, temperature decreases, and when temperature decreases, it becomes cold, and when it becomes cold, your body also starts to change. It makes efforts to adapt to that environment. So earlier she used to catch cold quite easily when she used to go on that expedition, which was on mountains, but now she had adapted to that environment, and now she don't catch cold that early. Equipped with an iron will means she had indomitable willpower. She was not ready to give up. Physical endurance and an amazing mental toughness. She proved herself repeatedly. The culmination of her hard work and sincerity came in 1992, just 4 years after she had shyly asked the Aravalli mountaineers if she could join them. Now she was showing her capabilities. She was mentally strong, she was physically strong. She was ready to face each and every obstacle that used to come in their way when they used to climb the mountains. And after 4 years of that course, she asked the Aravalli mountaineers, means they were climbing the mountain. She asked them if she could also join them. At barely 20 years of age, Santosh Yadav scaled Mount Everest, becoming the youngest woman in the world to achieve the feat. She was the first woman, the youngest woman, and she was of only 20 years old of age, and she was the first to climb the peak of the Mount Everest. She was youngest not only in India, she was the youngest woman in the world to reach to the top of the mountain of the Mount Everest. So this is the top which is being talked of in the title of our chapter. If her climbing skills, physical fitness and mental strength impressed her seniors, her concern for others and desire to work together with them found her a special place in the hearts of fellow climbers. Means she was not only fit mentally or physically, she was not only a successful mountaineer, she was also a good teammate. Means she used to take care of her team members, she used to help them whenever they were in need of help. So these were the things which impressed not only her seniors but also her team members. Coming to page 102, and at paragraph 8 we have, during the 1992 Everest mission, Santosh Yadav provided special care to a climber who lay dying at the South Pole. Now we are told that she helped a fellow member who was on the verge of dying when they were climbing. She was unfortunately unsuccessful in saving him, though she tried her best, but she could not save him. However, she managed to save another climber, Mohan Singh, who would have met with the same fate had she not shared her oxygen with him. Now we are told that though she was not able to save that fellow member, but she saved the other one, and the name of the other climber was Mohan Singh. And how she saved him? She shared her oxygen with him. Now how to share oxygen? We all know oxygen is there in the air. But when we climb a mountain, when anyone is climbing a mountain, with increase in the altitude means with increase in height. When as we go up, the temperature will fall and also the oxygen level will fall. So to survive on the height, one needs to have oxygen cylinder which can assist them by providing them oxygen to inhale so that they can survive. So Mohan Singh was not having enough oxygen in his cylinder. So here Sushma Yadav. So Mohan Singh was not having enough oxygen in his cylinder. So what did Santosh do? She shared her oxygen with Mohan Singh and thereby she saved him. Otherwise he would have also died at that very point of time, at that very height on the mountain. In next paragraph we have, within 12 months Santosh found herself a member of an Indo-Nepalese women's expedition that invited her to join them. So within 12 months means within 1 year, she was a part of another mountaineering group, and that group was of women. She then scaled the Everest a second time, and she had already scaled once. Now she again scaled the Everest, and this was her second time, thus setting a record as the only woman to have scaled the Everest twice and securing for herself and India a unique place in the annals, means in the history of mountaineering. So she is the only woman to scale Mount Everest twice, and thereby she not only secured a position in history, she also provided that honor for India in the history of mountaineering, as she belonged to India. In recognition of her achievements, the Indian government bestowed, means presented, upon her one of the nation's top honors, the Padam Shri, and for that honor she was given another honor by Indian government, and that honor was awarding her with Padam Shri. Coming to 10th paragraph, we have describing her feelings when she was literally on the top of the world. She was on the peak of the Mount Everest. So literally also means while talking, means in terms of language even, not symbolically, but in reality she was on the top of the world. Santosh has said, it took some time for the enormity of the moment to sink in. Then I unfurled the Indian tricolor and held it aloft on the roof of the world. Now she says that when she reached the top, it was quite emotional moment for her as she has achieved her dream. And she is saying that it took me few moments to come back to reality, to come out of that emotional moment. And after that she unfolded, means she had Indian flags folded in her bag. She took that out, unfolded, folded, and she holded it in her hands. And by that sign we can say that the flag of India along with Santosh Yadav both were on the roof of the world, means they were on the top of the world. The feeling is indescribable, means she can't describe it in words. It was worth experiencing. The Indian flag was flying on top of the world. It was truly a spiritual moment, something that develops in you something spiritual. I felt proud as an Indian, and she was proud to be an Indian. Also, a fervent environmentalist, Santosh collected and brought down 500 kilograms of garbage from the Himalayas. She had not only scaled the Mount Everest, in fact, she is also an environmentalist, and she had shown that through her action. She was not an environmentalist just by the words. She had done it, and what she did, she brought garbage down from the Himalayas. So that was about Santosh Yadav. In our next class, we will be talking about our part 2 of the same unit, and it is about Maria Sharapova. I hope everyone has understood this chapter, and before closing we will be discussing about the theme and the message of this chapter as well, of this part as well. So before talking about the theme of the chapter, let's discuss the title of our part 1 or our unit, Reach for the Top. We have talked about Santosh Yadav in part 1. So here top, everyone knows top is used for the highest peak of the Mount Everest. So that is one meaning, that is the literal meaning of this. If we talk about metaphorical meaning, what does top signify? Top signify the pinnacle of glory, fame. And when do we enjoy this glory and fame? When we have done something in our life which anyone else has not done. When someone has not expected from us and we do that thing, we enjoy that glory, we enjoy that respect. And how do we get these things? How do we reach to the top? We have to face many difficulties. We have to break many customs, many rules that have been already decided for us. For others, that can be a means of discipline that they put forward before us, that these are the rules. It is the part of a discipline you have to follow. But you have to break that custom, you have to break that discipline in order to achieve your top, in order to achieve the motive, your aim. So if we talk about Santosh Yadav, she had to face many obstacles, but she was determined. She had the iron will, as we have read in the chapter. So she not only faced all the difficulties, she became mentally strong, she became physically strong, but she also had broken many traditional customs right from her birth. As we have seen, she took to wearing shorts, then she forced her family to provide her proper education. Then again, without their permission, she got herself enrolled in the mountaineering course. Now this doesn't mean that you have to go against your parents. Not at all. She had the support of her parents with her. She convinced them, and they were convinced because she was on the right side. Had she been on the left, her parents would never accepted what she is saying. So that doesn't at all mean that you have to go against your parents to fulfill your aim. You have to make efforts that they accompany you in that journey. If you are right, you will be able to prove it to them. Clear? So you may have to face all these difficulties if you want to reach to the top, if you want to achieve that glory and that fame. So now if we talk about the theme of this chapter, what do we get to know? We got to know that if you are determined, if you are making efforts, only in that case will you be able to get success. If you are not making attempts, if you are not trying anything, you will not able to get success in your life. You won't be able to get your aim. You won't be able to reach that particular top of your life. Clear? As we can see, the other girls of the age of Santosh, they were married at the age of 16. But she took her stand and she opposed the decision of the family that she should marry. So she made many efforts. She not only went against her family, she not only convinced her family, she not only broke the traditional customs, but she had to face many other things. She had the conviction to do that. She had the indomitable willpower. She had the iron will. And only as she was able to do this, she became the woman to scale Mount Everest twice, not just only once. So that is something which comes out. She comes out to be as a role model for all the women in the society. She tells them that what is decided for you already, that is not the final thing. You can change that if you are making efforts. Because efforts will always end up in the different side. But if you are not making efforts, there is no use of repenting. Because you are not doing anything to change your situation. Only if you will help yourself will God help you. As we say, God helps those who helps themselves. So it is on your part to make the efforts. And if you are working hard, then there is no one in this world who can stop you to achieve your goal. And so the message we get from our title as well, we can see it is an imperative sentence. Means it is calling the readers that you have to reach your top. And to reach that top, you will have to face several odds and difficulties. You will have to cross many obstacles. But what needs to be taken care of? Your persistence, your endurance, and your indomitable willpower. You will not have to succumb to the traditions, to the rules that the society will put forward you. Rather, you have to keep yourself together. Your heart and mind, they should be together. So your heart and mind, they should be together, and only then will you be able to think rationally. And if you are rational, if you are correct, there is no need of changing. Rather, the people around you will have to change themselves so that they can also come on the right side. So that was all from my side. Now you are left with the reading of this chapter, and I am sure you will be able to solve the exercise and the question answers as well, and you will also take inspiration from this chapter. You will also have to reach to your top, and for reaching to that top you will all have to make efforts. And at particular point that you are in the 9th standard, what can you do? The only thing that you can do is study hard. If you are studying hard, only then you will be able to survive in this competitive world. Only then will you be able, if your base of 9th class is clear, only then will you be able to stand properly in the 10th class. Only then will you be able to compete with others. Competition with others is not important. What is important is competition with yourself. As you look towards your yesterday, if we assume that today you are standing today, sit for a while, think of the yesterday. If you have improved by minimum 1% even, that means you are on the right. But if you find no change in yesterday and today, that means you are stagnant, and anything that is stagnant is not at all good. Stagnant water also breeds germs. So you don't have to be stagnant. Just make yourself better day by day. You don't have to focus on others, what others are doing. Just focus on what you are doing. Whether you are improving yourself or not. Whether you have improved a bit from your yesterday or not. And if you are improving slowly even, you will see a great change in 1 month or in 2 months or after a year, and you will be surprised to see that you don't realize that you were doing efforts and still you have a great change with you. So little efforts even matter, and you have to make those efforts day by day. Take message from this chapter, take an inspiration from Santosh Yadav as well. Be persistent in your efforts. It's not that you will not study today, you will study one day before the exam and you will succeed. That success is of no use, because you have only studied for your marks, but you have to study for gaining knowledge, and gaining worldly knowledge and intelligence. Literature is a best option in that thing. So that was all from my side. I think I spoke much, but yes, do study, keep your efforts persistent, and you will surely get success. That was all from my side. Take care everyone. Thank you.